we stand cheering loud in the cold, with hearts full of pride. Our stories untold, victory in our eyes as a die-hard fan. We're die-hard Packers. We're die-hard Packers. We're die-hard Packers. We're die-hard Packers. Through triumph and defeat, through triumph, we hold another line. With every beat, the Lombardy shines, and we scream and we bite for green and gold pride. We're die-hard Packers. We're die-hard Packers. We're die-hard Packers. We're die-hard Packers.
Everybody, thank you for tuning in. All right, the Packers lose to the Bears 24-22. That hurts my soul to say it. But that's what happened. But I got stuff to say, you know. This is right after the Packer game. People listen to the podcast. Packer game ended a little bit ago. But I do want to give a shout real quick, you know, to the sponsors, you know, Quick Trip. You know what I mean? You need to, first of all, one thing I'll say about Quick Trip. If you need to drop a deuce, you know what I mean? Quick Trip's the spot if you have to stop at the gas station. Because they got clean bathrooms and whatnot, you know what I mean? So check out Quick Trip, you know what I mean? They got the food, they got all the stuff, they got clean bathrooms. And the only gas station, the bathroom that I'm interested in using. But also big shout out to Nicolay Law. If you get hurt or injured in an accident, Nicolay Law is going to help you take care of that. Make sure the insurance companies ain't trying to screw with you. And speaking of, like, you know, injuries, you know what I mean? Jordan Love got hurt. That's a good segue right there. I'm a professional podcaster. But Jordan Love got hurt. He got some kind of deal with his arm, right? That was the thing with that injury. You know, at first I thought maybe that was a pinky injury. Maybe he broke a finger, and I was like really hoping he didn't. But then now it looks like almost like he hit a funny bone. You know, that little elbow spot? I don't know what happened, but his arm went numb. I don't know what that feels like because I've never been tackled by 300-pound men. But he obviously got some. He said after the game that he doesn't think it'll be an issue next week, but his hand is still numb. His arm is still numb. So, it was good to keep him out. Obviously, he couldn't throw the ball like that if his hand is numb. Malik Willis came in, had a nice little start, just couldn't finish it off, had some mistakes. Josh Jacobs really didn't play much in the second half at all. I don't think he played at all in the second half. So they kept him out on purpose. He was not hurt. They're trying to give other people the ball, and I think just not, limit the reps because playoffs coming up and really not needed. But ended up maybe he was needed. I don't know. But we're going to talk about this game right now. All right. So I had a lot of people, first of all, come at me after the game. And I want to talk about this real quick. Then we get into this game and talk about what's what. But immediately after the game, whenever the Packers lose, I get trolled hardcore. And I accept that because I talk a lot of trash. You know what I mean? So when my team loses, other people, they want to share that trash talk, give it back to me a little bit. But one person who did was Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman, I should bring up these tweets. I don't have to bring them up. But basically what he said, because I'm going to play this video for you. This is an old video of Richard Sherman, and I responded to it a few times. He's been going back and forth with me since Aaron Rodgers got traded. He's been trolling me for a minute. I've been trolling him a little bit. You know what I mean? I got no hate for Richard Sherman, but I'm going to show you this clip real quick. And this is from the Richard Sherman podcast.
Green Bay Packers. Nobody will fear you going forward. Understand that. There is not a game somebody's going to see the Green Bay Packers in without Aaron Rodgers in the jersey and have fear for you. So congratulations on all your years of like walking into stadiums and having one of the best players on it. You don't have it anymore. So hate me all you want, but understand you had something great for a long time. You didn't appreciate him on his way out.
All right. So first of all, the whole didn't appreciate him on his way out because he's trolling me. I've never bashed Aaron Rodgers, so he's trolling the wrong dude, right? And like I say, I ain't got no hate for Richard Sherman. I actually like him. I think he's pretty good at his job. But he's talking about no one's going to fear you after Aaron Rodgers leaves. So I made a tweet. I shared that video, and I said it was after the Packers stomped out the Seahawks, right? And the Packer fans took over the Seahawk land, right? Seahawk fan, that 12th man, gone. They stayed home that day. I don't know where they were. Weren't there. You know what I mean? And then, but then after this game, he says, like, I remember that, and, this and that. Like, first of all, the Jordan Love wasn't playing. So, like, what are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about? Because your original post was about no one will fear you once Aaron Rodgers leave. And then Jordan Love is not playing in the game. He got hurt, and now you're gonna flex? Like, it doesn't even make sense. So he's trying to flex on me, and then he's like, I'm not a fan. I just support the teams I used to play for. First of all, that makes you a fan. You know what I mean? Supporting a team makes you a fan, Richard Sherman. I will say that. Supporting a team makes you a fan. Clinton Dix used to play for the Packers. He supports the Packers. He's a Packers fan, right? He is a Packers fan. I'm not saying he's the same as me, but first of all, that whole superiority stuff, you're dunking on a cheese factory worker. I used to play in the league. Yeah, we all know, bro. You're on TV, all that. And the funny thing is, I have a podcast. You don't have to be a player to have a podcast and do this stuff. I don't know. I just think it's silly when players say that. And if we're talking X's and O's, then you can bring that up. If I'm saying, well, this is the scheme and this is that, well, you used to play, yeah, you know more than me, obviously, about the game of football. You know more about all that stuff. I'll give you that for sure. First of all, you don't have to play to know more than me about football. But the whole thing, he's trying to dunk on me. He's trying to dunk on Packer fans because he was like butthurt for some reason when Aaron Rodgers got traded. Trading Aaron Rodgers was the right move. 100%. And I love Aaron Rodgers. I'm not an Aaron Rodgers hater. He'll come back when he's retired, and he'll be in the Ring of Honor. All those things are going to happen. But Richard Sherman, he likes to troll Packer fans. He doesn't like Packer fans. He doesn't like the Packers. I don't know if he doesn't like Packer fans. I don't think he's hateful and all that. And I'm not hateful for him either. You know what I mean? But I just think it's funny. That the only reason I bring it up is because if you're out here trying to troll me, like, understand, former NFL players are trolling me, bro. Like, you think you're going to get to me? I thought it was fantastic. First of all, it helped the engagement a ton on Twitter. I was getting followers. I was getting all types of stuff. So, shout out to Richard Sherman. You know what I mean, baby? I like me some Richard Sherman. I think he does a good job. I think former players, listen to him talk. I do think they're good. And he's a trash talker. You know what I mean? So, let's talk about that just for a second. Trash talking. Richard Sherman trash talks good. Does a good job trash talking. So many people are not good at trash talking. I appreciate Richard Sherman actually going at the fans a little bit, coming at me. I'm not the only one, probably. I'm not special, but just that trash talk. When you win, you get to talk trash. First of all, Richard Sherman, though, what are your teams doing? First of all, the teams you support that you're not a fan of. 49ers aren't in the playoffs. Seahawks, what's the score over here? I think that they're tied up. I was just watching this thing over here. It's on the screen over here. But his teams suck, all right? So whatever. So you want to talk trash about the Packers, and that's fine because that's what I do. But the Packers lose to the Bears. Let's keep it moving over here talking about this game. I was talking about this game because a lot of people were coming at me, and then people were mad, calling me like a cheerleader. And I've had this comment several times over the years. You're just a cheerleader. And some people even say, like, you won't say anything bad about the Packers because then they'll be mad at you. First of all, no one sees my podcast. No one watches my podcast at Lambeau Field. Matt LaFleur doesn't know who I am. All right, they don't. No one's tuning in. I hope he's saying something nice. It's just stupid to even think that. But I have negative thoughts. All right, I'm not happy with this game. I'm not happy how that last drive, which we'll talk about here in a second. I'm mad. I'm just not going to go on the internet and cry. I'm like, oh, there's no way they're going to win next week. That to me is silly, and that's fine though. Fan how you fan. That's what bothers me because people act like I'm gatekeeping. I'm not. I'm not mad at people for saying negative things. I'm mad. I'm not even saying I'm mad, but I'm irritated that whenever I say stuff like, hey, they're in the playoffs. That's what matters. They got to go in to Philly next week. Hopefully Jordan Love's arm is better. And they had to clean up a lot of stuff. There's so many mistakes. Look at all the teams that they lost to this year. They only lost by 10 one time. The Lions, I think that was the biggest loss that they had of the year. They only lost to one scrub team, and that's the Bears at the last game of the season when Jordan Love wasn't playing, and that's the Bears Super Bowl. And I don't mean that even in a trashy way because the Bears, they were up. And I'll give props to the Bears, all right? I'll give props right now to the Bears that they did not quit. They came in here to win. Nobody, the U-Hauls were packed and all that, but, like, they came to play. DJ Moore had himself a game. I did think it was funny that how Bears fans talk about how great DJ Moore is. And then he had, like 5 catches or something and whatever his numbers were, and they're like, that's a career game. Like, really? That's not really impressive. But anyways, the Bears came to play. They were smart. They didn't let Caleb Williams throw it too much. Didn't let him throw it downfield until like the end of the game. Even then, he really didn't throw it deep because he would have got an interception if he tried. But the Bears won, and that's what it is. And I forgot where I was going with that. But dude, oh yeah, talking about like this. Like, dude, I'm mad. All right, I get mad when the Packers lose. People act like I'm just like, oh, all G, go lucky. Like, obviously, I care. I'm a Packer fan. You're a fan of a team. When they lose in a stupid way, you get mad. Especially, I hate the Bears so much. And even the Vikings game, they should have won that game. These are games that should be won, right? But I'm irritated. But I'm not going to go on the internet and cry about it. And then people get mad at me because, like, I'm not crying about it. And then they're calling me a cheerleader and this and that. It just irritates me because, like, I don't tell you how to fan. Like, fan how you fan. You want me mad and scream? That's fine. I'm not even saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that's not how I do it, and it drives me nuts when people try to. They're in misery and they want to drag me down to their thing. All right, the Packers in the playoffs. At the end of the day, this game did not matter. Come standings, the seeding. Cowboys didn't win. We didn't know that at the time, so I'm not acting like they knew that or whatever because that game was happening at the same time. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. But the Packers made horrible decisions. Packers made stupid mistakes. First of all, let's talk about that punt. That was a touchdown, right? Returning for a touchdown. How do they not know what way they're kicking the ball? Let me ask you that. Anyone who does anyone know? I should ask like a former player because I want to know when they're punting or even kicking off. Well, kickoffs are different because there's usually one main guy back there. I mean, there's other guys, but you know what I mean. But for a punt, do they not say, hey, we're going to punt it left. We're going to kick the left side of the field? Because everyone goes to DJ Moore on the right side of the field because he's pretending like he's going to catch the ball, and then it's kicked to the other side. How do you not know? How does the whole team not know who's running on the field where the ball is going to be kicked? How are they not looking? How is everyone just looking at the guys? That's how you know. Why doesn't people do that every single game, every single punt? Why is that not happening if that's the case? How are they not saying we're kicking it this way? We're going to kick to this side of the field. How is everyone just running down there aimlessly? That irritated me because when you give away a touchdown like that, like it's just a free touchdown. There was a stupid boneheaded play, and I want to know why that type of thing can happen. I've seen other teams do it. I think I've seen the Bears do it like back in the day. It's just irritating and stupid, and I don't understand how that could happen. All right, so that went out the gate, and then at the end of the game, when they're going. What are they, rushing 3 when they had to get down there? And before that, even when the Packers were on offense, they're calling a timeout. They're doing a hurry-up offense. Like, what are we doing? I seen someone make a video talking about it's rigged, and they were pointing to that for a reason. And it actually makes sense. I'm not saying the NFL is rigged, but I'm saying that was so stupid that it makes people think that, right? Like, they're over here hurrying up and acting like they're, doing something over here, but, like, calling a timeout, stopping the clock, and then you give the Bears too much time, and then you play prevent defense when they're out there on their last drive going out to kick a field goal. They played like they needed a touchdown. They didn't. They needed a freaking field goal. So why are you rushing 3, playing prevent defense? Everyone's way off the ball, and you give them an easy play in the slot to get in field goal range, and then they run up there, spike the ball, have time, kick the field goal, win the game. It's stupid. Those are mistakes that you can't beat scrub teams doing that. You're sure not going to beat good teams doing that. But all that said, Matt LaFleur said, yeah, that sucked. I screwed up there. But I do love Matt LaFleur, big Matt LaFleur backer. But I'm sick of hearing him saying that's on me. I'm sick of hearing it. Like, let's get it done. It's playoff time, baby. But all right, so I got that off my chest a little bit, but now let's talk about a little positivity. But that's the thing, though. I do want to say that. People act like I'm just a G-go-lucky. I'm mad. I'm irritated after losses. I just don't really project it a ton because everyone else is being negative. You know what I mean? So, like, let me put a little positive spin. But I'm mad. I want everyone to know that. Like, I'm not like some fake fan who is just going along for the ride. I don't do this content for the heck of it. If it wasn't for this Packers stuff, for my passion for this team, I wouldn't even have social media, I swear, these days. But I'm saying is, like, dude, I care. I care a lot. It makes me mad. But I do want to say one thing about the Bears. My brother-in-law, dude, not a real Bear fan. He doesn't watch the games, doesn't care, doesn't even know their record, couldn't name 3 players on their team. But after the loss, he wants to talk trash on my Facebook. So I want to say, Lauren, you know what I mean? I hope your surgery went well. You're feeling better because he had surgery. But I will say, eat it, all right? Don't talk trash to me if you don't watch the games. You know what I mean? And I say that with love. But Yeah, this game sucked, but now we are on to the playoffs. And when you get to the playoffs, everyone's 0-0. It does not matter. Obviously, you look and you're like, yeah, the Eagles are a very good team. The Eagles are, I think, one of the better teams in the league, right? But come playoff time, that doesn't matter. Who's going to show up next week whenever they play? Who's going to show up? And that's what matters. Look at all the teams. And look at the Super Bowl 45 team. And I know people hate when you talk about that, but look at that team. Were they supposed to win the Super Bowl? Were they projected to win the Super Bowl? The 96 team? Excuse me. Were they projected to win a Super Bowl? No. Like, you get hot at the right time. Look at the Giants teams, not just Packers. Look at the Giants teams. A lot of teams, they're not projected. They're not all. It's not always like the Chiefs. Like the Chiefs, they're a juggernaut, and they've been winning Super Bowls. This year, I think they have one loss. Well, now they're going to have another one because they sat literally everybody. I don't even know how they had enough players to sit all those people. But so they're getting beat down. But that's not on them. My point is, it doesn't matter. Come playoff time, show up. Who's going to show up? If the Packers show up, they can beat the Eagles. Look at last year. The Packers went into Dallas. They weren't, and people act like, well, that was just the Cowboys. They were like, I think, double-digit underdogs in that game. Definitely were underdogs. No one thought there. I was getting comments all last year at the end of that season, going into that game. Packers are going to get smacked just like I am today. Packers are going to get smacked by the Eagles. They're going to get smacked by the Eagles. They were saying it last year about the Cowboys. Packers are going to get smacked by the Cowboys. It doesn't matter. That day shows up, who's going to play? If there's a fumble, is it going to bounce your way? Because look at even like this game. How many balls were batted up, Caleb Williams passes, and they just didn't fall in the Packers' hands? That's how football works, though. Sometimes the ball bounces your way, sometimes it doesn't. But the Packers, this game is on the Packers. They lost this game, and I'll give the Bears their props because they showed up, they had fire, they didn't quit, they were battling. But the Packers lost it. Like they, mistake after mistake, and then that last drive will drive me crazy. I will never understand how that last drive for the Bears went down. How they thought playing prevent defense. Everyone talked. This defense has been ferocious. Like coming out the game. Playing good, kind of, kept them in a lot of games this year early on. Then at the end of the game, they kind of flake off a little bit. And I think that's because a lot of it is because they, I was just looking at the stat right here. I think Oren Burks plays for the Eagles. I didn't even know that. The TV's on. But I forgot where I was even going with that. And I got distracted because this games are on TV right here. Yeah, I forgot where I was going with that. But, yeah, it doesn't matter come playoff time. You have to show up, and who's going to show up? I think that I think the Packers can do it, And I'm not like over confident, but like I don't get the going into a game being all negative, like saying they don't have a chance. They're just going to lose the game. Like I don't know. That's just not me. But you fan how you fan, right? Have a good time with it. But I will never go into a game talking about they don't have a chance. The Packers have a chance. Jordan Love hopefully comes back healthy and all that. Christian Watson, I don't think he's going to be playing it at all again this season. He got hurt like a non-contact injury. That's brutal. That sucks. That's a horrible injury. That sucks for Christian Watson going into the offseason. Hopefully it's not. Hopefully it's not as bad as it looked, but I can't imagine it's not. But hopefully he's all right, and we'll see what happens from there. But, yeah, the Packers got to come out and play. Matt LaFleur, dude, you got to call a game better. Like, some of these play calls, I just don't understand them, like what he's doing. And I love me some Matt LaFleur, you know what I mean? I love his team, but it's just like the timeouts at the end, and then the refs were kind of shady in this game, and I don't blame the refs for a loss ever. You got to overcome that stuff. But, like, even like when he had to challenge that, why do you have to challenge it? I think it was they called it complete, and then they came in and said it's incomplete. So then he had to challenge it. He shouldn't have had to use a challenge for that. And then later on, there was another challenge that he wanted to do. I think he wanted to do, and he didn't do it probably because he only had one challenge left, and it didn't seem worth it. Like they got to clean that up. First of all, the refs got to clean a lot up. But Matt LaFleur, he's got to call a better game plan. I feel like when Malik Willis is in, he calls differently than when Jordan Love is in, and obviously you're going to do that for your backup. But let's call a better game, dude. I'm sick of hearing Matt LaFleur talk about, we got to do better at this, and that was on me. Like, dude, enough with that. Let's get our head in the game here. When going into the playoffs, you can't be all crazy. You play a game like you do today. You call a game like you called today, and even a few other games this year. You're going to get waxed by the Eagles if you do that. I think they're going to do that. I expect them to come out. I kind of feel like they play to their competition a little bit almost sometimes. But the Packers got to get it together. They got to get it together. They got to let's go. You know what I mean? Like it's playoff football time. Let's go out here. Josh Jacobs took half a game off. They sat him, so hopefully he's fresh. And run the ball and stick with it. And I don't know. There's so many. Because I always think, get Jaden Reed involved. He had a fumble. He's had the drops lately. I love me some Jaden Reed. But, enough of the mistakes. Clean up the mistakes. Clean up the penalties. Clean up the drops. Clean up the fumbles and, some of the sketchy play calling. And let's get after this thing and go win this thing. All right? Let's go beat the Eagles on the road and shock the world, because I'm sick of all this trashing the Packers. You know what I mean? I'm sick of it. So let's go out there and get it. You know what I mean? I'm going to be live over here in a little bit. Doesn't matter if people listen to our podcast, but I'm going to be live for Sunday Night Football. And go Pack, go, people, dude. I'm excited. We're in the playoffs. Everything's not rosy and all cherries and whatnot, but I think that they have the team that can do something. But the thing is, it doesn't matter what the roster you have and all this. It matters about going out there and doing it. Because I've always said this: you win or you lose. There's no excuses. There's no, well, this happened and that happened. Like you win or you lose. It doesn't matter that the Bears were they had like three delay of games that apparently they just don't call anymore. But doesn't matter about all that. You win or you lose. And the Packers need to come out here and get after it and stop the run, because Saquon Barkley is an absolute animal. But let's go out there and get that. All right, so I appreciate y'all watching the live streams and listening to the podcast. That's my quick 2 cents about what's going on in this game. And let's go out here and punch the folks in the face. I will be live Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central Time with Jimmy the Penguin. You know what I mean? Jimmy Christensen, who is now known as Jimmy the Penguin. We'll be talking football. And we'll probably I might do some few other live streams this week. We got playoff football over here, people. Let's get after it. You know what I mean? Go Pack, go. And we're out.